Welcome back into game number 2 today, part of our 2-game doubleheader here from Don Edwards Park, Licking County and the Xenia Scouts. Getting ready for game number 2. Licking County took game number 1, 9-5. Remember, doubleheaders are only 7 innings, so it was a 7-inning game. Licking County 9 runs on 8 hits, 4 errors, 5 left on base. Xenia 5 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors, 11 left on base. It was Spencer Berg that picked up the win. Sam Drawley picked up the loss for the Scouts. Cannon Duke was able to come in and get the 2-inning save for the Settlers. Now in game number 2, on the bump for the Settlers will be Max Schreiber. Schreiber, of course, out of Nebraska University. He stands 6'4", 190 pounds, a native of Cardington, Ohio. This will be his 4th appearance on the season. First game he started, however, has thrown 9 innings, 3 strikeouts, 10 walks, and 8 hits. He also has an ERA of 3. He's given up 10 runs, but only 3 of those have been earned, so he's been the bearer of some misfortune for the Settlers, as 7 of the runs he's given up have come unearned. The defensive alignment behind him, outfield left to right, will be Dylan Ott, Turner Hill, and Sam Stewart getting the start out in right field. In the infield, first to third, Nathan Dill, Sam Wilson, Eddie Pena, Garrett Roberts. Behind the dish, catching for Schreiber will be Chad Harper, the Fallensby, West Virginia native. The Scouts will counter with the lineup of the left fielder Cameron Murray leading off, batting second and playing right will be Carter Boswell. In the 3-hole and playing center field will be Graham Welsh. The designated hitter today and batting fourth will be Ryan Bertelsman. Caleb Eater will be playing first and batting fifth. Batting sixth and playing third will be Truman Brown. Batting 7th and catching Felix King. Zach Bacon will be batting 8th and playing second. And the shortstop, Nicholas Tuttle, will round out the lineup for the Xenia Scouts. Teams getting set for game number 2 here. We have the same umpiring crew in Jimmy Craig and Justin Mann. They will just be flip-flopping on the bases and behind the plate. Still a beautiful day out here on the final day of the month of June. July hits us tomorrow, and we finish with the final month of this 2018 Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League season. Licking County, of course, 4-13 now after their win earlier today. Xenia goes to 7-10 on the year. Licking County still in the cellar of the Southern Division of this Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. Xenia right in the middle of the pack. Licking County has had many opportunities this season to get more wins. They've had some games where they've let slip away. It was nearly about to happen again, but Cannon Duke was able to shut down the door as he retired the Xenia Scouts with the bases loaded in that 7th inning. Tying run had come to the dish, and Harper throws down to second, so we are just about set to get underway. Settlers still in their blue tops, white letters that spell out Settlers on the front of their chest with those white numbers, red hats, gray pants. Scouts baby blue jerseys kind of remind you of the Kansas City Royals, or back in the day the St. Louis Cardinals. They have Scouts written across their chest in blue letters with about a white trim around the letters and numbers. Gray pants as well. They have a gray hat with some blue on the back as Schreiber gets ready for the first pitch of game number 2. Wind starting to pick up, temperatures still in the upper 80s. Still a beautiful day for baseball. A little hot, but a lot of fans out here today taking in some baseball action. First pitch from Schreiber is taken for a strike by the left fielder in Cameron Murray. Murray did not start in the first game. No relation to myself as well. His last appearance was last night. He was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. So he sees the second pitch from Schreiber way outside, as that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Murray, 5'10", 175 pounds, Cincinnati, Ohio native, goes to Youngstown State University, batting .429 on the season, 12 hits, 3 doubles, 1 home run, 5 RBIs, 4 strikeouts, and 6 walks, as he laces that one right past Eddie Pena at shortstop, and Cameron Murray is aboard with a leadoff single. So the leadoff man does reach first base against Max Schreiber here in the top of the first inning as Carter Boswell heads to the dish. Boswell starting in right field, didn't play in game number 1 today. Last night he was 1 for 3 with 3 runs scored. Was the Aurora, Colorado native. Also goes to Glenville State, teammates with Zach Bacon. Bacon in the lineup today as well. Boswell, .259 average, .430 on base percentage, 7 hits, 2 RBIs, 10 strikeouts, and 7 walks as the righty digs in, rolls one over to the third baseman, Garrett Roberts. He goes to 2-4-1, And yes, he will get one as Wilson unable to turn the double play, but Roberts wisely goes to second base and gets the leadoff runner. So one away here with one runner on first base is Boswell on the fielder's choice. That'll bring Graham Welsh to the batter's box now. Welsh getting the start in center field today. He did not play earlier as well. First three hitters did not play in the first game. A new outfield for the Scouts. Welsh was 1 for 5 last night against the Jazz. Did have a home run as well. So he awaits the first pitch from Nebraska product Max Schreiber. Looked at that one for strike number 1. Schreiber getting ahead in the count early. Welsh, a native of Allen, Texas, goes to the University of Texas. Tyler, batting .233 on the season. 7 hits, 3 doubles, 1 triple, 4 RBIs, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks. And that pitch roped to the right side, going to get through and into right field. So another base hit here early on. The Scouts are swinging early and often, as Schreiber has only thrown 5 pitches, given up 2 hits, and has a fielder's choice. Scouts not waiting around for anything. They are attacking the starting pitcher in Schreiber. As Ryan Bertelsmann will come to the dish now. Bertelsmann did start in game number 1. He was the designated hitter, moved out to left field when the Scouts did a lot of shifting with their pitchers and their outfield. As the first pitch from Schreiber, high and outside. Bertelsmann 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored in game number 1. The Friendswood, Texas native, 6'1", 200 pounds, standing in the right-handed batter's box as he waves his bat around and awaits the 1-0 from Schreiber. That pitch fouled straight back, and even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Scouts continue to swing early and often. Schreiber, his last appearance was against the Southern Ohio Copperheads back on June 17th. Through 2 1/3 innings, gave up 5 runs, none of those being earned. That was a relief appearance. Gave up 3 hits, 4 walks, 1 strikeout, and 15 hitters that he faced. The 1-1 in the dirt, picked out by Harper. 2 balls and a strike to the right-handed hitting Bertelsmann. Schreiber does have a win this year. Got a win against Lake Erie. 4 2/3 innings, 2 runs. Both those earned 5 hits, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. So he is 1-0 on the season, trying to make it 2-0 here today as that pitch grounded to the right side. That'll get through into right field. Stewart will pick it up. Runner being waved around is Boswell. The throw home off the line. Harper dives and is not in time. So an RBI single by Ryan Bertelsmann will give the Xenia Scouts an early 1-0 lead here from Don Edwards Park as Bertelsmann sent a chopping ball into right field. Not a terrible throw from Stewart, just up the first base line and too far away for Harper. Had it been closer to home plate, might have had the runner in Boswell thrown out at the plate. So Bertelsmann with the RBI single. That's the 3rd hit given up already in this top of the 1st inning. Runners at the corners for the Scouts. It's Welsh on 3rd, Bertelsmann at 1st, and that'll bring Caleb Eder into the batter's box now. Eder went 1 for 3 last night against the Jazz, had the first game off. So he stands in against Schreiber. First pitch taken right down the middle for strike number 1. Eder, a native of Marion, Indiana, goes to Indiana Wesleyan University, batting .300 on the season, almost a .500 on base percentage, has 6 hits, 2 RBIs, 6 strikeouts, and 6 walks. As he finds himself down the count, no balls and a strike with 1 out to Schreiber. That pitch misses high. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. If you remember, in game 1, the Scouts were able to take a 1-0 lead. They scored 1 run in the first inning. It was unearned. It was on an error. But very much like game number 1 here in game 2, Xenia on the board first in the top of the 1st. Runs early on, definitely going to help you later on down the road because obviously we aren't playing 9 innings, only 7 innings. So the earlier the runs, the better. As that pitch misses outside, 2 balls and a strike. Eder is 1 for his last 10. That one was last night, 3 strikeouts during that time as that pitch misses inside. 3 balls and a strike. Now to the right-handed hitting first baseman. Nobody down in the bullpen yet for these Settlers. We've seen a very quick hook from head coach Michael Sandman. He pulled Chris Sparks, the starter, in game number 1 in the middle of a hitter. As that pitch misses outside, ball number 4. That'll load him up here for the Scouts in the first inning. Welsh on third, Bertelsmann on second, Eder on first, as here comes Sandman to talk to his right-handed hurler from University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Cameron Murray led off this inning with a single. Carter Boswell grounded into a fielder's choice as Murray was thrown out at second base on the putout. Graham Welsh singled, so it was first and third, and then first and second, then Bertelsmann singled to right field on the RBI. Scored Boswell, and now Eder walked. And here we are with our 6th batter of this first inning. It's the third baseman in Truman Brown. Truman also started earlier today. He was 0 for 1. He walked twice and was hit by a pitch. So despite being 0 for 1, still found himself on the base paths 3 times, and a walk or a hit by a pitch would bring a run here in this first inning. One has already come across. First pitch from Schreiber. Taken outside corner for a strike. Truman Brown, Clarksville, Tennessee native. He was to Austin Peay State University, hitting a .180, 5 hits, 1 double, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. The 0-1. That pitch flared off to the right side. You see it time and time again, especially in game number 1. Every time the Settler pitchers got into a jam, Sandman went out there, and immediately after his pitchers began throwing strikes. It's kind of funny how that works out. Just hearing it from a coach talking to him, settling down real quick. You start to find your control back again as the 0-2 delivery from Schreiber. Swing and a miss for strike number 3, and more importantly, out number 2, as they are 1 out away from getting out of this bases-loaded jam. As the catcher, Felix King, will head to the batter's box now. Felix was 0 for 2 in game number 1. He had 2 walks. He started the game at first base, but then was moved to catcher after all the substitutions happened. If you remember, Zach Bacon, the on-deck hitter, actually ended up pitching for 2 innings, as Sam Drolley went 4 innings, his longest appearance of the season. First pitch taken low for a ball. Bacon didn't do a terrible job either. He only gave up 1 run and 1 hit. As King went behind the plate, Bertelsmann went to left, Brown went to second, and Boylston went to first. And that pitch taken for a strike, delayed, called by the home plate umpire in Jimmy Craig, and that'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Felix batting under .230 on the season. He has a .314 on base percentage, 7 hits, 1 double, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 12 strikeouts, and 4 walks. As he gets a piece of that one, chases high and outside and fouls it right back. And Schreiber 1 pitch away from limiting the damage here in this first inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1 run has scored already. Schreiber comes set. The 1-2. Grounded to Eddie Pena at short. This will be a tough play. Pena on the run, throw to first, off the line, and will be safe. Is Felix King. That was going to be a tough play for Eddie Pena. It was a slow roller towards third base. He had to come in and throw on the run, as I would imagine that would be a base hit. We are getting confirmation that is a base hit by Felix King. So the 4th single of this first inning brings in the 2nd run across the board, and the bases will stay loaded for the second baseman in Zach Bacon. Bacon had a game you probably want to forget in game number 1. He was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. So he takes that pitch for a strike. Bacon, a forgettable day at the plate, but as we said, a pretty good day to remember on the mound. Not a pitcher by trait. Just kind of went in there, as Xenia doesn't have a lot of arms available here today. And Bacon shut the doors. That pitch inside evens the count at 1. Bacon with a big chance. They get a couple RBIs in here today. He's got 2 RBIs on the season. Batting right around 125. It's not a great hitter for the Scouts. Looks at that pitch for a strike. And once again, Schreiber 1 pitch away from getting out of this first inning. The last guy in Felix King forced him into a ground ball, but it was a tough play by Eddie Pena, and King was able to beat it out at first base. Schreiber comes set, takes a deep breath, and delivers the 1-2. Fouled off as Bacon stays alive, and we'll do the 1-2 once again. 1-2. Bases loaded, top of the first inning. 2 outs, 2-0 lead right now for the Xenia Scouts. 0-2. Taken just outside. Schreiber wanted that one, as that'll move the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Schreiber trying to come in with the off speed on that outside corner, but just missing, says the home plate umpire in Jimmy Craig. So Bacon stays alive. 2-2 count, 2 outs, bases loaded. 2-run first inning for the Scouts. The 2-2. That pitch fouled off. Bacon with a great at-bat here to really work Schreiber in this first inning. Settlers only used 3 pitchers last game. It was Chris Sparks, Spencer Berg, and Cannon Duke. So you would imagine they still have a good amount of arms in that bullpen if Schreiber's not able to go too far. The 2-2 once again. That pitch fouled off. Another foul ball by Bacon. He's fouled off 3 2-strike pitches in this at-bat. He's hanging in there and battling right now with Schreiber. Neither one giving an inch here with the bases loaded. Schreiber comes set and delivers. That pitch misses high. Ball number 3. So a full count now to Bacon. Runners will get a head start. A single would more than likely score 2 runs if Bacon's able to get the bat on the ball and put it past this infield. Schreiber looking for his 2nd strikeout in this inning. The 3-2. Fouled off once again. That's 4 foul balls and 4 good pitches that Bacon has spoiled from Max Schreiber. No matter what happens in this at-bat to Bacon, you got to love the effort by the second baseman from Seminole, Florida. Runners go back to their respective bases. Schreiber looks in, gets his sign, shakes off catcher Chad Harper twice, and gets one that he likes. The 3-2 to Bacon. That pitch fouled off once again. Bacon doing a great job just staying alive, making Schreiber continue to pound the strike zone. One mistake and Schreiber walks in another run. Settlers trail by 2 here in the top of the first inning. There are 2 away. Bases loaded. This is a big at-bat for both teams. As Schreiber comes set, takes a breath, delivers a 3-2. That pitch right back up the middle for a single. 1 run is in Bertelsmann. The second one's being waved around as the throw comes behind the runner at second base in Felix King, and a 2-out RBI single by Zach Bacon. A long at-bat as he saw just about 10 pitches, and he delivers with the 2-out, 2 RBI single. And Xenia jumps out early 4-0 here in this top of the first inning, as that'll be the 9th hitter to the plate for the Xenia Scouts. It'll be Nick Tuttle. Tuttle did start at short today earlier, so he takes his first pitch for a strike. Tuttle making the start at shortstop again. He was 2 for 4 in the first game, had 2 singles. Single here would probably bring home another run. Xenia's already got 4 in this top of the first inning. 0-1 pitch to Tuttle. Thought about taking, but decided to hold back. So 1 ball and 1 strike. 5 hits in this first inning. 5 hits and a walk have brought home 4 runs as the bullpen down the left field line for the Settlers starting to get warm. This pitch fouled back, and Schreiber's ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Great at bat by Zach Bacon, the hitter previous. Was down to the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Worked it to 2-2. Fouled off some more pitches, worked it to 3-2. Fouled off a couple more pitches, got one he liked, hit it right back up the middle, nearly hitting the feet of Max Schreiber and knocking in 2 for his Xenia Scouts. The 1-2 swung on and missed for strike number 3 as Harper caught it before it hit the ground, but not before Xenia puts up a 4 spot here in the first inning. 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. And the Settlers go into their first at-bat trailing by 4.
The River Baker Finland has a lot of extra hits going on today. The biggest one, in my opinion, is the 50-50 today. Also has a little extra on the end. So the 50-50 will be drawn at the top of the 6th inning. Keep your tickets to the end of the game because there's numerous prizes you could win, like a family 4 pass to Cedar Point, a family of 4 pass to BZ Bay, a family of 4 pass to the Columbus Zoo. Also, there are 2 $50 BW's ticket or Buffalo Wild Wings. It's a tough one. I'm sure. Gift cards for you. Also, a 6-pack family, 6 times family of 4 passes for Living Word outdoor play in Cambridge. We also have 6 sets of family of 4 passes to Custom, and there will be Bible trivia following the game as well. We got a lot for you at the end of the game as we're setting up for the concert. The concert today is 2 great bands. We have Safe Kept and the Wilderness Project. So it has wonderful music for you.
Settlers getting ready for their first chance at starting pitcher Blake Verbrugge. Took a while to get that one out, but Blake Verbrugge. The Settlers find themselves down by 4 after the top of the first inning. Scouts sent 9 hitters to the plate, able to come away with 4 runs on 5 hits. Starting lineup in the batting order for the Scouts. Batting first will be Turner Hill. 2 will be Dylan Ott. Then will be Sam Wilson, Garrett Roberts, Cale Baker, Eddie Pena, Nathan Dill, Chad Harper, and Sam Stewart. On the mound will be, as we said, Blake Verbrugge. He's 0-1 on the year, 4.10 ERA. Has not started a game, but this will be his 7th appearance. He's thrown 15 1/3 innings, 9 runs, 12 hits, 12 strikeouts, and 6 walks. Verbrugge did throw against the Settlers in their first appearance back on June the 19th. He threw 2 innings, gave up 1 run. It was not earned, 1 hit, 2 walks, and no strikeouts. Leadoff hitter Turner Hill digs in now, takes first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Turner starting in center field for the 2nd time today. He was 1 for 2 with 2 walks in the first game as he looks at that pitch low and inside for a ball. Turner also scored 3 times. So every time he got on base, he was able to find his way around and home. Settlers looking to try to duplicate that as he lifts that pitch to the left side, but foul. Turner, the Marietta, Ohio native, 5'11", 168. Batting right around 250 on the season. He has 8 hits. As he gets fisted on that one, tries to flare it over the third baseman in Brown's head, but Brown will track it right on the third base foul line and retire Hill for the first out of this bottom of the first. That'll bring Dylan Ott to the plate now. Ott also started in game number 1. Not a lot of different substitutions for the Settlers today. The only main one, Harper will be behind the plate for Baker. Baker moves over to the DH, and the DH Stewart is now in right field for Alice. As Ott lays down a bunt to the third baseman, and Brown hits his hand, and he will not be able to pick it up, and Ott will be on first base. We'll find out if it's a single or an error here as Brown tried to field it with his bare hand. Ott laying down the perfect bunt down that third base line and making it over to first base for the first base runner of this game here today. That'll bring Sam Wilson to the plate now. Wilson 0 for 3 in game number 1. He did have a walk, so he did make it on base for 1 at bat. As that pitch misses low and away for a ball. Ott, Wilson, and Roberts combined to go 0 for 8 in game number 1. And the Settlers still able to put up 9 runs despite their 2-3 as Wilson laces that one into the right center gap. That one's going to roll. Ott around second base. He's heading for third. Bobbles the ball in the outfield. They're going to wave Ott around home. Wilson stands up to second as the throw comes in, and not in time as Dylan Ott scores all the way from first on the double by Sam Wilson. And the Settlers are on the board here in this first inning. They trail by 3. A good piece of hitting by Sam Wilson to put that in that right center gap. And Dylan Ott was making it to third regardless, but the bobble by Boswell in the outfield allowed him to score all the way from first base. And the Settlers looking for more here as Garrett Roberts steps to the dish now. Roberts, as we said, 0 for 3, was hit by a pitch as he lifts this ball into deep center field. Center fielder Welsh going back. Wilson trying to tag, and he will hold at second base as Roberts just missed that one on the fly out to center field. That'll bring Cale Baker to the batter's box now. Cale had the best day out of any Settler hitter in game number 1. He was 3 for 4, 2 singles, a double, and 3 runs scored. Baker with his best game at the plate thus far in this season. Trying to carry that over to game number 2, not starting behind the plate, but he'll be the designated hitter. As Verbrugge delivers the fastball, it was a curveball. It was not a fastball, it was a curveball for a strike. Wilson over on second base, 2 outs, 0-1 count here in the bottom of the first inning. Settlers trail 4-1. The 0-1 in the dirt, good pick by the catcher in King. Evens the count at 1. Cale had been struggling early on in the season, but has started to get in a rhythm. Had a couple hits up in St. Clair about a week ago. Had a couple hits the other night against Grand Lake as he takes that pitch. Thought about offering, but wisely took the high fastball for ball number 2. Was hitless last night, but game number 1 today, he was 3 for 4. So maybe this is a sign of things starting to turn around as he starts to dig in and start locking in that batter's box. That pitch bounces, blocked, but couldn't find it. Was the catcher. He throws it into left field. Wilson gonna come around to score. Wilson steals third and then will score on the error by the catcher in King. King absolutely airmailed that one into left field. The shortstop Tuttle couldn't get over and knock it down as it got under his glove. So the Settlers making stuff happen here in this first inning as they cut the lead in half. It's 4-2 early on here. Scoring is happening all over the place. We saw 4 runs in the first inning, 2 here right now for the Settlers, and Baker's up in the count, 3 balls and a strike. Swung through that pitch was Baker as he was looking to put a charge of that one just out in front. So full count to Baker, 2 outs, bottom of the first inning, nobody on base, 4-2 ball game. The offering from Verbrugge. That pitch taken, strike number 3, says the home plate umpire Jimmy Craig, and Cale Baker can't believe it. He thought for sure he walked as he has a couple words with the home plate umpire, but the Settlers able to cut the 4-0 lead in half. It's 4-2 as we head to the second. It'll be the top of the order here in the top of the second inning for the Xenia Scouts as they batted around in that first inning, sent 9 hitters to the plate and scored 4 runs on 5 hits. As it'll be Cameron Murray coming to the dish again. He was 1 for 1 on the day facing Max Schreiber. Schreiber getting the start out here in this second inning. Expect a quick hook, however, as that pitch laced down the third base line for strike number 1. This last time up started off that first inning with a single. He was thrown out on a fielder's choice. He was thrown out at second base. That pitch misses on the inner half for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cameron Murray, the Cincinnati, Ohio native, goes to Youngstown State University. Actually started his career at Alderson Broadus before transferring as he chops that pitch to the left side, but foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Started at Alderson Broadus, hit right around 320 in 2 seasons. Not too bad. He was an all-conference selection as a freshman. He sat out this past season at Youngstown State due to transfer rules, so he's probably eager to get back in the lineup and get a lot of game action. The 1-2, that pitch is fouled right back. If you remember, Zach Bacon in the first inning, with a great at-bat, was down 1-2, able to foul off a ton of pitches, move it to 3-2, and then eventually singled in 2 runs in that first inning, part of that 4-run first inning. Schreiber looking to not repeat that one here in the second, as you would expect there to be a quick hook from pitching coach Michael Sandman. Excuse me, head coach now, Michael Sandman. The 1-2 from Schreiber. That pitch laced into left field. Dylan Ott coming on and will make the catch. Murray put a charge into that one, but Dylan Ott in the right place at the right time and able to track that one down. So leadoff man has been retired here in the top of the second inning as Carter Boswell will step into the batter's box now. Boswell reached on a fielder's choice, part of that fielder's choice with Murray. Murray was out at second base. Boswell went to first base and would score the first run of the game on the RBI single by Ryan Bertelsmann. First pitch from Schreiber, looked at for a strike. Boswell started 29 games this past season for Glenville State College. Pioneers 19-27 on the year, but he hit 321. So he looks at that pitch low and outside. 321 with 25 hits, 12 RBIs. Actually transferred to Glenville State. He was at University of South Carolina, Sumter, home of the Fire Ants. As that pitch rolled over to the left side, Roberts fielding it and firing over to first base, caught by Nathan Dill for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down on the 5-3 ground out by Carter Boswell. And Schreiber appears to be settling in here as he's thrown 7 pitches and has 2 outs. Graham Welsh, the center fielder, is next up for the Scouts. He singled in his first at-bat and later came around to score. Part of 2 consecutive singles, 4 consecutive players to reach base as he takes that first pitch low and inside for ball number 1. Welsh, an Allen, Texas native, went to the University of Texas. Tyler, they were the winners of the Division III National Championship. They beat Texas Lutheran twice and won 3 straight. Take the D3 titles. He ropes that ball into right field. It'll get cut off by Sam Stewart, and he throws it in. Welsh going for 2. It'll be a close play, but not in time as it gets away from Eddie Pena. Good job by Sam Stewart to cut that one off and make it a fairly close play over at second base, but not before Graham Welsh records his second hit of this ball game, and he's got a 2-out double and puts a runner in scoring position for the designated hitter in Ryan Bertelsmann. Bertelsmann today, RBI single. He chopped one high chopper to the right side. No chance for Dill or Wilson to get over and field it. That scored the first run of the game as he chops another one right up the middle. It'll get past the diving infield. Welsh will be waved around. The throw coming in from Turner Hill will be cut off as the runner starts going towards second base. Throw in time as they will get Bertelsmann out trying to stretch that single. Schreiber cut it off, did not realize that Bertelsmann had rounded first base. Bertelsmann really could have gone back to first base had he realized it because there was nobody behind him at first, but the RBI single will score one. 2 straight hits on with 2 outs will give the Scouts a 5-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the second.
The Lincoln County Settlers would also like to thank some of their sponsors for helping out the 2018 Lincoln County Settlers. New York Moose Lodge, Raising Teams, Explorer LC, Falcon Retail Marketing, Excel Dryer, Chad Noble, LMH, Donaldson Real Estate, Mayor Jeff Hall, The McLean Company, Antrix Lawn Sensations, The Krieger Company, Local Roots Lawn Care, The Draft House, B&B, Sharon Brook, Wilson, Shannon, and Snow, Layton Services, Shaw Mechanical, Network 9, SDS Mechanical and Automation, and McCune Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Brand. That's just a few of the sponsors helping out the 2018 Lincoln County Settlers. Here on the River Faith and Family Night, we'd also like to thank some special sponsors for this evening. Central Ohio Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Lincoln Memorial Health System, Equity Resource and Management, Marcheski Law Office, Houston Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Concord.
Back here in the bottom of the second inning from Don Edwards Park here in Newark, Ohio. Xenia leads Lincoln County Settlers 5-2. Xenia already eclipsing the run total that they put up in the first inning. They scored 4 in the first inning. They have 5 through 2 at-bats already here today as Eddie Pena digs in for the Lincoln County Settlers and takes his first pitch from Blake Verbrugge for a ball. 1-0 rolled over to the left side. Going to be a tough play for Brown. Going to have to make the throw on the run. Picked. No, it's not. It gets to the fence, and Pena is going to motor into second base as he gets on second with the lead-off error. As Brown threw that one in the dirt, the first baseman Eater was not able to come up with it. And just like that, the Lincoln County Settlers have their leadoff man aboard. Here in the bottom of the second, they are chasing 3. It's Nathan Dill, the first baseman, will step to the plate now. Dill was 0 for 3 in game number 1. He did, in fact, have an RBI, but he's 4 for his last 15. First pitch from Verbrugge. Curveball cuts right back in for a strike. Dill, a .250 hitter. Has 7 hits on the season, 2 of those extra bases, 2 RBIs, a single will more than likely bring around Pena as he grounds to the right side. It's Bacon, the second baseman, picking it up and throwing to first for out number 1. Dill does, in fact, move Eddie Pena over to third base, so a productive out number 1 for the first baseman from Butler University. That'll bring Chad Harper. Harper's first at-bat in this doubleheader. Cale Baker started behind the dish in game number 1, so Harper comes to the plate now, the Fallensby, West Virginia native. He's got a bunch of dirt on him. He tried to dive on that Sam Stewart throw from right field and get the scout runner out as Verbrugge starts again with a curveball. That one taken for a strike. Curveball working right now for Blake Verbrugge. That pitch taken outside, nearly got past the pitcher, Verbrugge. 1 ball and 1 strike. That pitch fouled by Chad Harper. And move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Verbrugge trying to hold that run on third base. He's got 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. His scout team with a 5-2 lead. Verbrugge. Curveball once again, strike number 3 as Harper did not agree with that call, but he's going to go down looking as a nice tight curveball from Verbrugge. Puts 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning, and Sam Stewart will come to play now. Stewart has been one of the big finds in this Lincoln County offense. He started his first game in right field up in St. Clair, had a couple of hits. They put him out at DH last night, had a couple more hits. And you know what, you put him in the lineup again, game number 1, got more. It's 5 for 9 on the season. It was 2 for 2 in game number 1, a double and a single. Added a walk on there too as he checked his swing Yes, he did, says home plate umpire Jimmy Craig. And the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike, says Verbrugge. Trying to strand that Settler runner at third. 2-1 in the dirt. Good eye by Stewart. 3 balls and a strike. 3-1 count, 2 outs, bottom second. Eddie Pena at third. The 3-1 fouled off to the right side as Stewart moves the count to full now. Stewart, the pitcher, turned outfielder and DH. Trying to get one back for the Settlers. They gave one up in the top half. Looks at that pitch. Strike number 3 as Stewart thought it was ball 4, threw his bat and started taking off his batting gloves. But strike number 3, so back-to-back strikeouts looking. Put the Settlers down in the second inning. Got a runner over to third. It's no runs on no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base as we head to the third. Xenia leads 5-2.
Lux Showbiz, KMA Electric Heating and Cooling, W Construction, Calceric Wall, Photo Flooring, Mid-Ohio Development, Christy and Judy Cunningham, Dr. Curian, Red Local Mark Hawk, The Voss Family, Havenwood Group, Glen Libby Remax, Keener Roofing, and Hickman's Barbershop. If you visit any of these businesses, or know anyone that owns any of these businesses, thank them for their support of the 2018 Licking County Settlers. The pitcher for your Licking County Settlers on number 26, Jake Carpenter.
Be a new arm coming out of the pen for the Licking County Settlers. It'll be Jake Carpenter, the 5'8", 180-pound Dublin, Ohio native, right-handed pitcher. Goes to Ohio Dominican University, getting his first appearance in a Settler uniform. He just joined the team a few days ago, and he comes into this game with his team down 5-2. Here as we start the third inning, Caleb Eder will be your batter as he takes his first pitch outside for a ball. Scouts 5 runs on 7 hits. They have committed 2 errors. Settlers 2 runs on 1 hit. They also have committed an error. As that pitch low and inside to Eder. 2 balls and no strikes. (2-0) misses, so Carpenter comes out of the pen, immediately throws 3 straight balls to Eder. Eder walked in his first at-bat and later came around to score. Close the book on Schreiber. He threw 2 innings, 5 runs, 7 hits, 2 strikeouts, and a walk. Schreiber threw a lot of pitches in inning number 1, faced 9 hitters. Second inning, he got the first 2 guys out, but let off a 2-out double, and then a 1-out single. Excuse me, a 2-out singles. That pitch taken for a strike. With the 5th run across for the Scouts. Scouts looking for redemption in game number 2. They dropped game number 1, 9-5. 3-1. In the dirt, picked out by Harper, and that'll be a 5-pitch walk for the first baseman in Eder as Truman Brown heads to the batter's box now. Truman struck out in his first at-bat back in the first inning. That was his 6th strikeout on the season. He comes up with 1 runner aboard, nobody out. His Scout team up 5-2 right here in the top of the 3rd inning. Checks on the runner in Eater, but not in time. In game number 1, it was obviously a win on the scorebook, but a win for these pitchers here for Licking County is that pitch taken for a strike by Brown. Scouts only able to push 5 runs across. Obviously, we only played 7 innings, but this is Xenia Scout. Over the last 7 games, they're averaging nearly 10 runs per game. They like putting a lot of runs up. They give up a lot of runs as well with their pitching staff, but they've been in a lot of close games. That off-speed pitch misses on the outside, evens the count at 1. It's been the hitters that have been carrying them to their 7-10 record. Talking to their broadcaster, a lot of close games. 7 out of the last 8 games have been decided by 2 runs. That pitch chopped to Roberts, catches on the big hop, goes to second for 1, over to first. Not in time. Looked like the umpire was going to call out the runner, but Dill, the first baseman, stretched and not able to pick it out of the dirt. But the Settlers are able to get 1 on the 5-4 putout. Roberts to Wilson, but Brown will be on first base on the fielder's choice. As Coach Sandman came out, it looked like he was going to go check on Wilson. Wilson took maybe a spike to the leg as Eater went in hard on the slide to try to break up the double play, and he did just enough to break it up. Good job by Garrett Roberts coming to get that big hop and able to get that put out over at second base. So a big out number 1 as Felix King, the catcher, comes to the dish now. Felix 1 for 1 today, has an RBI. He's singled, part of back-to-back singles. He was the first one that scored runs. He looks at first pitch strike from Carpenter. It's a good opportunity for Carpenter to get his name out there and show the coaching staff what he can do. It's a 5-2 game. Not high pressure as the runner goes, curveball taken, pitch thrown down by Harper, but not able to be picked by Wilson. So Truman Brown is in with a stolen base. We saw this Scout team steal 5 bases in game number 1. They're not afraid to run. That's their 42nd stolen base of the season. About an 82 to 83% success rate. Cale Baker threw one of those runners out in game number 1. So they were 4 for 5 in game number 1. Now 5 for 6 on the day, as that pitch was taken for a ball. Evens the count at 1 as we have time called by the hitter in King. King 4 for his last 15. He had 2 walks in game number 1, so that was his first hit of this doubleheader. These 2 teams face off again tomorrow. Part of a 3-game series. Only supposed to be 2 games, but there was a rain out about 10 days ago or so. As that pitch, hanging curveball, popped into left field. Dylan Ott going back. Runner does not tag as Carpenter with the very slow off-speed pitch gets Felix King to fly out to left field, and there are 2 outs here in this top of the 3rd inning. Zach Bacon will dig in now. He had one of the better at-bats you're ever going to see. He was down in the count, 1 ball in, 2 strikes. Fouled off a couple good pitches from Schreiber. Worked it to 2-2, fouled off some more pitches. Finally got it to a full count, and after fouling off yet more pitches, he was able to get one that he liked, sent it right back up the middle. A 2 RBI single that scored runs 3 and 4. And that first inning, as that pitch gets away from Harper, and Brown will move up 90 feet off the wild pitch from Carpenter. So Brown moves into 3rd. 2 outs, 1 ball, no strikes to the hitter in Bacon. 5-2 lead here in the top of the 3rd inning for the Xenia Scouts. Trying to split this doubleheader with Licking County. Licking County has yet to win back-to-back games. Obviously, only 4 total wins on the season. As that pitch looked at for ball 2. Licking County has never won 1 game after another. They get 1 and then another losing streak, because that pitch misses inside. 3 balls, no strikes to the number 8 hitter in Bacon. Bacon a 130 hitter on the year. That hit he had in the 1st inning put him 4 for his last 15. As that pitch misses high, a 4-pitch walk to the 8 hitter in Zach Bacon, and there are 2 men aboard here with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning. And the number 9 hitter in Nicholas Tuttle coming to the plate. The shortstop was 2 for 4 in game number 1, had 2 singles. a 440 hitter on the season, so that would only move his average up. He did strike out in at bat number 1 in the first inning. Tuttle, one of the better hitters on this Xenia Scout roster. He hasn't had as many at-bats as everybody, but with the at-bats he's getting, he's making the most of them. He's got 13 hits on the season. And a hit right here would bring home another run. As that pitch looked at for strike 1. You saw the biggest problem with Schreiber was he was leaving balls right over the plate early and often. The first 4 hitters for the Scouts in that first inning saw less than 10 pitches. As the 0-1. That one catches the strike zone. Very quickly, Carpenter ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. As a reliever in, Carpenter tries to escape this third inning unscathed. He has 2 outs, 2 strikes to the righty Tuttle. The 0-2, runner goes. That pitch ground to the left side. It'll get through past Roberts and into left field. Ott comes up with the throw, throws it to Roberts, tag down and in time as Roberts hangs on, but not before Truman Brown comes around to score the 6th run of the game for the Scouts. Bacon thrown out at third base on the 7-5 putout after the RBI single from Nicholas Tuttle. So the Xenia Scouts able to strike again with 2 outs as they score 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left on base as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Scouts 6, Settlers 2.
Trevor and Brooke Donaldson, Tina Bell, Chad and Myra Campbell, Valerie and Steve Pedrick, Dave Douglas, Scott and Stacy Bowden. Those are our host families for the 2018 season, and without you, we have no players. So thank you very much for doing that. Big round of applause. Starting off your Settlers, number 2, Turner Hill.
Top of the order here in the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Licking County Settlers. They find themselves trailing the Xenia Scouts 6-2 as it'll be Turner Hill leading off against Andrew Verbrugge as he tries to bunt, lays one down the third base line. Brown fields it and bobbles it for the 2nd time today. A bunt by the Licking County Settlers will reach via the error by the 3rd baseman in Brown. That'll bring Dylan Ott to the plate. Ott in his first plate appearance bunted down that 3rd base line right at Brown, and Brown was unable to field it with the bare hand and reached on the error. As Turner Hill over at first base to lead this inning off. Ott fouls this one to the right side. First baseman Eater gives chase, but will run out of room as it lands on top of the trailer right behind there, beyond that first base dugout. Got some a 1 count here to Dylan Ott. Ott did score as they check on Turner Hill over at first base. Not in time. Wind starting to pick up. It's been majority of this day non-existent. The flags out in straightaway center haven't moved too much. American flag taken. They check on Hill once again. American flag hasn't really moved too much. The Ohio State flag and the Don Edwards Park flag in the middle and the right side of the flags out there in center field have been waving around on and off all day as the 0-1 taken by Ott for a ball. 1-1 count. Now the right-handed hitter from Helensville, Wisconsin. Ott 5'8", 175, University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh, 322 batting average. As he looks at that pitch on the inside for a strike. Ott not happy with that call, as he has a word with the home plate umpire, Jimmy Craig. 1-2 count to Ott. Turner Hill over at first base. 6-2 ball game, bottom of the third. Only playing 7 here. That pitch fouled down the left field line, just missing that white powder on the infield dirt. Ott probably less than 6 inches away from putting that one into the Settler bullpen. It still does get out into the bullpen. And we'll do the 1-2 over again. Wind starting to pick up even more. Verbrugge comes set and delivers the 1-2. Sidearm pitch, got him swinging. That's his 4th strikeout of the day is Verbrugge. It looked like he switched up his arm slot on that pitch, went to a 3/4, maybe sidearm action. Haven't seen that out of him yet today, and he gets a big out number 1 in Dylan Ott. Sam Wilson will step up to the plate now. Wilson doubled in his first at-bat. It was an RBI double as he brought around Dylan Ott all the way from first base. Wilson later stole third, then advanced home on the errant throw by the catcher and Felix King as he sees that first pitch outside for ball 1. They're going to have a meeting on the mound between King and Verbrugge. Verbrugge hasn't gotten into much trouble so far. Had those 2 runs come across in the first inning, but he's pounded the strike zone. He's mixed up his pitches, has 4 strikeouts. That's more than Drawley or Bacon can come up with in game number 1. The 1-0 to Wilson, fisted to the third baseman in Brown, picks it up, airmails it over to second base and into right field. That's 3 errors now for the third baseman in Brown, and he is having a day to forget over there at third base. The 2nd error in this inning as Wilson gets to first base and Hill moves all the way to third. When I tell you he airmailed that one, that was not even close. The second baseman in Bacon had no chance of even putting a glove on that one as he threw that one all the way into right field. You could tell it was going to be a tough play for Brown as he fielded it and immediately went to a knee. I assumed he would just forget about the runner at second base and go to 1. He had time to get Hill, but just rushed himself and pitched that one into the outfield. So the Settlers have runners at the corners with 1 out. Looking to get 1 back as Garrett Roberts is your batter now. Verbrugge going sidearm, laced into left field. That'll get down. Turner Hill will score 1. That ball will get to the wall. Sam Wilson at third. He'll be held there as Garrett Roberts motors into second base with the 1-out RBI double. And the Settlers trail this one 6-3. Roberts looked as if he got fisted. Took that one off the inner part of the bat, but still had enough strength to put that ball all the way to the wall. Roberts top 5 in the league in RBIs. That was RBI number 18 on the season as he continues to come through with runners in scoring position, and 2 more runners in scoring position for Cale Baker. Baker takes his first pitch outside. It was a curveball for a strike. Baker struck out looking in his first at-bat today, but game number 1 he was 3 for 4. Swinging a hot bat right now. As a single here, could score 2 as he waves at that one. Not a good pitch from Verbrugge, but Baker still chased. No balls and 2 strikes. We've seen Baker strike out in bunches this year. He struck out 23 times. That is also top 5 in the league. Baker just needs to put the ball on the bat as he swings through that one. Strike number 3. 3 straight pitches puts Baker down on strikes, and that's a big out number 2 as Baker, frustrated with himself, bites his bat on the way back to the dugout. 2 outs now for the Settlers. 2 men aboard. Wilson at third, Roberts at second. It's Eddie Pena stepping into the batter's box now. 6-3 ball game. Settlers trail in the bottom of the third, only playing 7 innings in this game. So every run huge here early on. His first pitch from Verbrugge taken on the outside corner for a strike. Pena's first at-bat reached via the error, one of 3 errors that have been committed by the third baseman in Brown. It won. Thought about offering, but able to check his swing. Good eye by Eddie Pena. Verbrugge wanted an appeal. Did not get it. Pena not even close. Just swinging that bat and breaking the plane. 1-1 count now to the Fresno State Bulldog. Verbrugge comes set and delivers. This ball flared into right field. It'll drop. 1 run will score. They're waving Garrett Roberts around the throw coming from Boswell. Going to be cut off by the first baseman, and a 2-out, 2 RBI single by the shortstop from Fresno State. A huge at-bat from Eddie Pena as he delivers. And just like that, 6-5 here from Don Edwards Park. Licking County right back in this ball game as Eddie Pena goes opposite field, puts it right in front of the right fielder, Boswell, and is aboard with the 2 RBI single. How about that from Eddie Pena? 2 for 3 in game number 1, now 1 for 2 in game number 2 as Nathan Dill will be the hitter now. Dill 0 for 1. He grounded out to second. It was a productive out as he moved Pena over to third base, but Dill 0 for 3 in game number 1. He's 4 for his last 16. Big at bat here for him as that pitch taken inside for strike number 2. Dill down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch, looked at, bounced in the dirt. 4-1, good on by Nathan Dill. Dill had a 3-game hit streak snapped in game number 1. He had struggled to start the season, but had that 3-game hit streak. Looked as if he was going to turn it around. Verbrugge goes sidearm again. This one lifted into right field and will be caught by Boswell to end the 3rd inning. But the Settlers are able to push 3 runners across. They score 3 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left on base. And they trail by 1 as we head to the 4th 6-5 ball game.
Enjoy the sights and sounds of Settlers baseball.
Another pitching change for this Settler pitching staff. It'll be Justin Folks also making his first appearance for the Licking County Settlers. The 6 foot, 185-pound junior from Collierville, Tennessee, goes to Belmont University. He throws from the left side as he actually just arrived in town last night. And his first pitch to the Xenia Scouts is taken for a strike. It'll be top of the order for the Scouts in Murray, Boswell, and Welsh. Murray today is 1 for 2, had a single in the first inning, and flew out to left in the second. The second pitch from Folks, that one laced into right field. Coming on is Sam Stewart, sliding and making the catch is Sam Stewart. How about the pitcher helping out the new pitcher on the mound? Sam Stewart has really done it all for the Settlers in the field and at the dish. Getting base hits frequently in the batter's box and making plays out in right field. A big out number 1 as the Settlers put a 3 spot up on the board in the bottom half of the third and trail this game by 1 as the first pitch to Carter Boswell taken outside for a ball. Folks misses once again outside. Boswell 0 for 2 today, reached via the fielder's choice in the first inning. He later came around to score the first run of the game and grounded out to Garrett Roberts at third base in the second inning. So that pitch catches the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike to the right fielder Boswell. Carpenter through 1 inning, gave up 1 run. It was earned, 1 hit, no strikeouts, 2 walks. It's not a terrible first outing for the righty from Ohio Dominican. As Folks now tries to impress this coaching staff, gets a cut through from Boswell and evens the count at 2. Folks teammates with Jackson Curb at Belmont, also knows Cannon Duke very well, both Tennessee natives. Cannon was very excited about Folks joining the staff as that pitch misses inside, runs the count to full. Duke said he'd be a good pickup for the Settlers, and they've been anticipating his arrival. It's a 3-2 pitch from Folks. Fouled off by Boswell, and he stays alive. 3-2, 1 out, 6-5 ball game. In the top of the 4th inning, only playing 7 innings in this doubleheader. Boswell steps back in, open stance, faces the lefty and Folks. Folks misses outside for ball 4, so that'll put the runner in Boswell aboard at first base, and Graham Welsh will come to the dish now. Welsh 2 for 2 today, a single, a double, and a 2-run scored. He did not start in game number 1, but he is making the most of it here in game number 2 today. As Welsh only batting .233 coming into this game. Only had 7 hits, he's got 9 now. 4 of those 9 hits, a double. He's got 4 RBIs, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks for the Division III national champion, University of Texas Tyler. First pitch from Folks, lefty on lefty, grounded into right field for a base hit as Sam Stewart comes up with it, as Boswell will hold up at second base, and Welsh is aboard with his 3rd hit of the ball game. He's 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a double. So after retiring the first hitter in Murray, Folks walks Boswell and allows the single from Graham Welsh, as Ryan Bertelsman will come up now. He's also 2 for 2 today. 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and has scored a run. The right-handed hitter from Friendswood, Texas, Baylor Bear. So he stands in with a chance to get a couple runs back for the Scouts. First pitch from Folks. That misses low off the glove of Harper. Runners holding, as he didn't get a good read, was Carter Boswell. And Graham Welsh got about a 1/4 of the way to second base, as the signs might have got crossed up between Harper and Folks as Harper goes out to talk to his left-handed reliever. Welsh, the runner at first, had a better read on that ball. I believe Carter Boswell probably couldn't pick it up between looking through the umpires, the pitcher, the catcher, and maybe even his hitter up at the dish. The runners remain on first and second, 1-0. That pitch low and away once again as Folks struggling to find the strike zone. Bertelsmann was 1 for 3 in game number 1. It's 3 for 5 on the day. Has scored 3 runs, 2 RBIs. Not a bad Saturday afternoon. So that pitch looked at for a strike. Folks able to catch the outside corner with the fastball and move the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 out. Top of the 4th, 6-5 ball game. 2 men aboard for the Scouts. They lost game number 1, 9-5. Folk steps off. And we'll get a sign from Harper once again. The Xenia Scout team not afraid to steal a couple bases. They've stolen 5 on the day. The 2-1 outside. Once again, Folks missing. Basically every ball that he's missed has been outside, either low and outside or just flat out outside. 3-1 count. Now the designated hitter, Bertelsmann. Folks in danger of walking Bertelsmann to load the bases. The 3-1. Taken strike 2. Good pitch by Folks as he came inside that time and was able to catch the corner. Full count now to Bertelsmann with 2 men aboard. Ground ball could get the Settlers out of this inning. 3-2. Misses outside off the glove of Harper, but doesn't matter, as the second walk of the inning will load the bases up and put Folks in a jam. Started off this inning with a fly out to Sam Stewart in right, a good sliding catch by Stewart. Walked Boswell, single by Welsh on the first pitch, and then a 3-2 walk by Bertelsmann has the bases loaded here in the top of the 4th inning, and Caleb Eder coming to the plate. Eder is 0 for 0. He has 2 walks and has scored a run. A walk would bring in a run here as that pitch misses outside and high. Caleb Eder 1 for his last 10. 3 strikeouts, 7 walks. He's got a good eye up there at the dish and won't chase. That pitch misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. See the bullpen in left field starting to get hot as Coach Sandman signals. Looks like Gray Harmon might be starting to get loose. That pitch misses high and outside. 3 balls and no strikes as Folks is 1 pitch away from walking in a run. Chad Harper going to go out and talk to his pitcher, maybe delaying just a bit, trying to let his Settler bullpen start to get loose. As this is a 1-run ball game, Licking County has not won back-to-back games all year. Every run here is crucial. There's only 7 innings to play, not playing 9 innings, so not as many chances to score runs. So that pitch misses high. A 4-pitch walk from Folks brings in yet another run as Carter Boswell touches home plate, and head coach Michael Sandman will make the slow walk out to the mound, obviously trying to waste some time for his bullpen to get loose, as 3 walks in this inning will bring home a run. Walked Boswell, Bertelsmann, and Eder. Welsh got aboard with a 1-pitch single, and there's only 1 out. So the Scouts with the opportunity to score a bunch here in this inning. They scored 4 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third, and 1 already here in the 4th, with a chance to score a lot more as the meeting on the mound is over. And Coach Sandman will make his way back to the dugout, and Folks will continue to try to work out of this bases-loaded jam. 4-pitch walk to Eder brought home the 7th run of the game for the Scouts. Scouts, as we said, over the last 7, averaging about 9 runs per game. Last game, only 5. First pitch, and a Truman Brown taken for a ball low. Truman Brown, he's 0 for 2 today. He struck out in the first inning and reached on the fielder's choice in the 3rd and later came around to score. He's had a tough day in the field. 3 errors at third base. As the 1-0 catches the outside corner for a strike and even count at 1 ball and 1 strike. No better way to make up for those errors than to give your team a couple of runs here with the bases loaded. Bases loaded, 1 out. First baseman Dill is in. That pitch fouled straight back. And Folks is ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Truman Brown takes a minute to gather himself again. Points his bat towards the pitcher and sets in. Folks delivering the 1-2. That pitch taken just outside for ball 2. A good pitch by Folks, trying to get Truman Brown to chase. But Brown able to hang in there and watch it go by for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases are loaded. Dill playing in the cutout over at first base. Pitch just misses outside once again as Folks wanted that one. That's going to run the count to full. So a big pitch here from Justin Folks as he tries to avoid walking his second hitter in a row. Folks comes set, the 3-2. That pitch fouled towards the Settler dugout on the third base side, and we'll do the 3-2 again. We saw Zach Bacon in the first inning have a tough 3-2 at bat. He was able to single home 2 runs, part of that 4-run first inning for the Scouts. Brown trying to do the same here. 3-2 from Folks. That pitch grounded to the left side. Diving is Roberts. He won't get it. 1 runs around to score, and that will be all. So the 1-out RBI single by Truman Brown pushes this lead up to 8-5 now. And this inning is still going as the bases are still loaded, and that will be all we see of Justin Folks. He came in, got the first hitter in Murray to line out to right field, but after that 3 walks and 2 singles bring 2 runs home, and he'll exit with the bases loaded. We'll get the new pitcher when we come back. Settlers trail 8-5.
Pitcher on the mound there, Settlers number 23, Adam Mays.
Fourth pitcher of this game for the Licking County Settlers, it'll be Adam Mays, the 5'11", 190-pound junior from Oro Valley, Arizona. Plays his collegiate baseball at Wittenberg University. This will be his 4th appearance. He's thrown 1 1/3 innings, has an ERA right around 27 as he inherits the bases loaded. And the first hitter in Felix King sees a strike from Mays. King has singled in the first inning, was an RBI single, and flew out to left field. He's 1 for 2 today. He was 0 for 2 with 2 walks in game number 1. Mays trying to get out of this bases loaded jam. As curveball misses high, evens the count at 1. Mays it should be 2 1/3 innings on the stats online, it has him throwing no innings against the Locos. He threw 1 inning of work, gave up 2 runs. Both those earned 2 hits, gave up a towering home run as this pitch lifted into left field, and it will drop in front of Dylan Ott, and another run will come around to score off the RBI single, and the ball gets away from Garrett Roberts over at third base, and another run will come around to score. So give Felix King an RBI single. Bertelsmann scores on that, and then the error by the Licking County infield will bring Eder around to score. As we'll get who that error is on here in just a second. But runs 9 and 10 come around to score. This game was a 6-5 ball game coming into the 4th inning. Now 10-5 as Mays gets a swing through from Zach Bacon for strike 1. So runners on 2nd and 3rd. Brown is on 3rd. King is on 2nd. Bacon is at the dish. He's 1 for 1 today with a 2 RBI single and a walk. Second pitch from Mays, curveball taken for a strike. Good break by Mays. Gets ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. We've seen Bacon battle in his first at-bat, however. Was down 1-2, worked it to full, and ended up having an RBI, 2 RBI single as the infield comes in for the Settlers. That pitch curveball just misses the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. 10-5 ball game here in the top of the 4th inning. Licking County scored 3 in the bottom of the 3rd to bring it back to a 1-run ball game, but 4 runs in this 4th inning have really started to put this one out of reach. Good block by Chad Harper as that pitch bounced in front of the plate, and the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Justin Folk started this inning, got the first hitter in Murray to fly out to right field, but it was disaster after that as a 2-2. Taken for strike number 3 as Zach Bacon goes down looking for out number 2. As the right-handed hitting second baseman didn't agree with that call, but nonetheless, Mays is 1 out closer to getting out of this inning. Nicholas Tuttle digs into the batter's box now. Tuttle 1 for 2 today. Had an RBI single in the 3rd and then struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Runners remain at 2nd and 3rd. This is the 9th batter of this inning. This is the 2nd inning in this game that the Scouts have batted around as that pitch misses low and outside for ball number 1. Inning number 1, a 4-run first inning, saw 9 hitters come to the plate. In the 4th, 4 runs have come across, and this will be the 9th hitter. The Scouts repeating what they did in inning number 1 as that pitch fouled straight back, evens the count at 1. Tuttle, a Caldwell, Idaho native, goes to the Masters University. Actually won 3 state championships in high school. He was a shortstop for his high school team. One of the leading hitters on this Scout team, batting right around 440. So he looks at that pitch, strike number 2. Good breaking ball by Mays. And he's 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. First hitter Mays saw, RBI single by Felix, got the strikeout looking to Bacon a batter ago. And now trying to get a big 3rd out here in the 4th inning. The 1-2. Taken, strike number 3. Mays comes in with back-to-back strikeouts looking, and the Settlers finally escape the 4th inning. It was 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, Settlers trail 10-5.
Everybody coming out to our second game today. We're also blessed to have the River Bacon family night here at the Irish Park tonight. So immediately following this game, after they get everything set up, we'll be having a little concert here with 2 great bands, Safe Tech and the Wilderness Project. Going through the river, we'd like to thank Central Ohio Fellowship of Christian Athletes, Licking Memorial Health Systems, Equity Resource Inc. Mortgages, Marcheski Law Office, Houston County and PD, Lincoln Control and American Theater, and Mount Terry Propane for their sponsorship of the River, Faith, and Family Night. Make sure you keep a hold of your 50-50 tickets, because after we draw the top of the 6, your tickets will still be worth some prizes There's a big list of prizes we have, and they will be pulled out of the bucket in between the end of the game and the beginning of the concert. We also will be having some quizzing going on. We'll have some of our people out there asking some quiz questions. That will be immediately following this game. Thank you. Starting off your settlers in the bottom of the fourth. Number 8, Chad Harper.
Settlers coming to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. They find themselves down by 5, 10-5 lead for the Xenia Scouts after they put another 4 spot up on the board the second time today as they batted around for the second time today in that fourth inning, pushing 4 runs across. Chad Harper to lead it off here for the Settlers. It'll be Harper, Stewart, and Hill as Harper cuts through that pitch and misses by the starting pitcher, Andrew Verbrugge. Verbrugge has been masterful thus far as Harper fouls that one off to the right side. No balls and 2 strikes. He's scattered a couple runs, but he hasn't really gotten a lot of help behind him. 4 errors by his fielders behind him have given up 5 Settler runs. You take out those errors in a totally different ball game as he goes to the sidearm delivery and fouled off by Harper. We've seen Verbrugge go to that sidearm delivery very often with 2 strikes, just trying to change up the eye level and the angle for those Settler hitters. We've seen a couple guys strike out on as the 0-2 comes into Harper, now misses on the outside. Harper was a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. He struck out looking in the second inning. Settlers took game number 1, 9-5, trail this one 10-5 here. Bottom 4 as that pitch taken just misses the inside. Verbrugge wanted that one, and he thought he had it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wind starting to pick up harder than we've ever seen it here today as Harper going to get hit by a pitch, and he will make it all the way to first base. No, it looks like he's actually going to be called back. That's the 3rd time we've seen that today. We've seen 3 hitters in 2 games get hit by a pitch and be brought back by the home plate umpire. I don't believe I've ever seen that before. Is Coach Sandman coming out. And I'm with Harper. Harper's trying to plead his case right now that he turned his body away from the pitch and tried to get out of the way of that one. I'm with him on that one. I agree that he did all he could to get out of the way as he turned his shoulder towards the umpire. With that came his lower half as well. With the umpire saying he kicked his knee out over the plate. Verbrugge was looking for that as well after he hit Harper, and he was able to get the call. So 3 hitters today have been called back after being hit by a pitch. And Harper will see a 3-2 pitch now from Verbrugge. That pitch fouled off. Good job by Harper spoiling a good pitch. Settlers scored 2 in the first, 3 in the third off of 2 errors by the third baseman in Truman Brown. Brown today has 3 errors. If you remember, the first time these 2 teams met, 7 total errors by the Scouts as Verbrugge goes to the sidearm, and that's laced into left field by Chad Harper. Harper just sticking his bat out and trying to do something with it and able to put it in the 5-6 hole between short and third, and he is on with a lead-off single as one of the hottest hitters in this Settler lineup. And Sam Stewart coming to the plate now. Stewart struck out looking at his first at-bat. He did not agree with that call. He thought it was ball 4, but Stewart 5 for 10 on the year as he laces that one right back up the middle, and his little 1-hop in front of the center fielder in Welsh, and back-to-back singles as Sam Stewart continues to rake. He has 6 hits in 4 games in the batting order for these Settlers. He's 6 for 11 on the year. Absolutely incredible for the former relief pitcher, now turned outfielder / designated hitter, as that'll bring the top of the order back with Turner Hill. Turner is 0 for 2 today. He popped up to the third baseman in the first inning and reached via error of the third baseman in the third. He also scored. He scored 4 times today in 2 games. The third baseman in Brown comes in, strike 1 to Turner Hill off the curveball from Verbrugge. Turner on that error bunted down the third base line. That's where we've seen 2 of the errors committed by Brown, a bunt by Ott and a bunt by Turner Hill. As Turner takes the 0-1 pitch inside for ball 1. Turner 4 for his last 22. He's been cold. He's a Marietta, Ohio native. Many of these settler hitters have gone cold as of late. If that pitch catches the outside corner, you hear the crowd disagree with that call as Turner shakes his head as well. He did not think that was a strike. 1-2 pitch coming to Turner Hill. 2 runners aboard, 5-run ball game. Scouts lead 10-5. Hill able to spoil a good pitch and foul that one straight back and stays alive at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Turner Hill, the Malone College product. Started 46 games for the Malone Pioneers, 340 average. Batting right around 250 right now for the Settlers. That pitch grounded to the right side. It's going to be a long play for Bacon. Gets under his glove and into right field. As they tried to wave around Chad Harper was third base coach Robbie Howell. Harper didn't see him. He was trying to track the ball and find out where it's at. As Harper and Howell fist bump on third base. As that'll be, we're still trying to get a word from the official scorer on air. It was going to be a tough play by the second baseman in Bacon. But nonetheless, bases are loaded here for the Settlers with nobody out. As we are getting confirmation it is going to be an error by the second baseman Bacon. Dylan Ott coming to plate. Good block by Felix King for ball number 1. Ott 0 for 2 today, reached on the error in the first inning, scored a run, and struck out in the third inning. He was 0 for 2 in game number 1 with a walk and hit by pitch, looking for his first hit today. That pitch laced into left field. It's a base hit. Harper's coming around to score. They're going to wave around Stewart. Stewart will get in standing up, and a 2 RBI single from Dylan Ott. As you can see the relief on his face as he fist bumps general manager and first base coach TJ Lyons down there at first. And the Settlers refuse to go away. It is a 10-7 ball game now after the no-out 2 RBI single by the Helenville, Wisconsin native in Dylan Ott. Sam Wilson will be next up as we might get a mound visit from the head coach of the Xenia Scouts in Bubba Cates. Xenia, if you remember, we talked about it in the first game. They don't have a deep pitching staff here today. They had to go with a reliever that had not made a start yet on this season in game number 1 in Sam Drolley. They ended up going to second baseman Zach Bacon in relief after they realized that the first game was out of reach. They wanted to save their arms for game number 2. For Brugge, had thrown 15 1/3 innings. He hadn't thrown more than 3 1/3 innings. So this is uncharted territory for him for the most part. He only went 3 1/3 once, went 3 innings in his last appearance against the Clippers 3 days ago. So for Brugge, going deeper in a ball game than he's ever been before. He's already given up 2 runs here in this 4th inning. Every hitter for the Settlers has reached base. 3 singles and reached on the error in the 4th inning. Runners at first and second. Sam Wilson at the dish now. Hill on second, Ott over at first. Wilson has reached base twice today. Had a double in the first inning, came around to score. Had an RBI. 3rd inning, reached on the error by the third base, and that ball under the catcher in King's feet. Turner Hill had a decent read on it, but couldn't quite find it. And then he realized it was under the feet of Felix King, so he wisely stays at second base, and Wilson goes in the head in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Wilson 0 for 3 earlier today. He was leading the league in batting average about a week or so ago. That pitch fouled to the right side, evens the count at 1. Wilson, the Wabash Valley College product. He finished 2nd in hits on his team and led the league after he played in 45 games. He's 5th in the league in hits right now. 24 hits on the season. Number 25 here would be huge for the Settlers as they continue to try to chop into this 3-run lead. That pitch swung on and missed by Wilson. Settlers with 2 runs already across in this inning. They came in trailing by 5. 1-2 count now to Wilson Runners on first and second, nobody out. Garrett Roberts stands in the on-deck circle. He's already got a hit today as well with an RBI. Verbrugge comes set and delivers. This pitch lifted into center field. Deep goes Welsh. The center fielder going back. He'll make the catch. Turner Hill will tag from third base. It's going to be a close play at third. He slides in safely is Turner Hill. So a good read by Turner Hill on the deep fly out to center field. A good throw by the center fielder in Graham Welsh, but not in time to get Turner Hill as he moves to third base. Ott remains over at first base. Wilson does a job, moves the runner over, and puts a runner 90 feet away for the third baseman in Garrett Roberts. Roberts 1 for 2 today. Had an RBI double in the third, came around later to score. Also has a fly out to deep center field. Top 5 in the league in RBIs is Garrett Roberts. He has 18 as that pitch misses up and in for ball 1. Settlers sending their 6th hitter to the plate in this inning. As Ott gets a big lead on first base, starts to go and stops and makes it back to first base. The balk will be called. A good job by Dylan Ott to force the balk, and Turner Hill will come in. And we're going to get a question from Bubba Cates, the head coach of the Xenia Scouts. He's going to talk to the home plate umpire in Jimmy Craig. But Turner Hill will come around to score. Dylan Ott moves to second base on the balk by Verbrugge. Ott started running towards second base. He was going to try to steal second. Went a little bit too early as the scout fielders yelled at him to step off. It appeared as if he did step off, but according to the umpire, he made a move towards first base before stepping completely off the rubber, and that's what brought Turner Hill in to score. So after allowing a 4 spot in that 4th inning, the Settlers have put up another 3 spot. They scored 2 in the first, 3 in the third, and now 3 here in the 4th. They trail 10-8 here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and they're not done yet. Dylan Ott stands on second base. Garrett Roberts at the dish. The 1-0 misses outside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes to the always dangerous Garrett Roberts. Garrett, we've seen a lot of power, especially to the opposite field. Both his home runs this year have come to the opposite field. He had one right here in Don Edwards Park against the Lake Erie Monarchs. As that pitch, broken bat, rolled over to the third baseman. Ott will make it to third base. Brown with the throw to first base in time. Ott does move up 90 feet over to third, and Roberts is retired on the 5-3 ground out. 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning for Cale Baker. Cale in game number 1 had a game to remember. He was 3 for 4, 2 singles and a double. Game number 2 thus far, 1 to forget, as he has struck out twice, once looking and once swinging. Can get a base hit here would be huge for the Settlers. As that pitch lifted into right center field, going to be a long run for the right fielder. It'll get down into the wall as Cale Baker will hustle into second with a double. First pitch swinging is the right-hander from Cincinnati University, and he has a 2-out, 1 RBI double as Dylan Ott comes around to score. So the Scouts put up a 4 spot in the top of the 4th, and the Settlers match them here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It is a 1-run ball game all over again, and Eddie Pena digging in now. The shortstop from Fresno State, he's 1 for 2 today as well. Reached on an error in the 2nd inning, and a 2 RBI singles. That pitch flared to the right side, snagged by the first baseman in Eder. Eder ranging far to his right in the hole, using every inch of his 6'2" frame to pull that one in, and Eddie Pena is robbed of a base hit, but the Licking County Settlers able to push 4 runs across on 4 hits. There was an error and 1 left on base. It's a 1-run ball game as we head to the 5th. Scouts 10, Settlers 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Julie down there, Burgundy down there, we got 50 tickets for you. This is the last call, last time will be around. Remember, your 50-50 ticket tonight has some extra stuff, so hold on to that ticket. After the winner is called, because at the end of the game, we'll be giving away a bunch more gifts, prizes for you. Right now I have the winner of the Equity Resources sponsor gift bag. The winner of the gift basket that was out front, who came in today, is Alex Heathers. Alex Heathers, there you go, bud. You can hang on right there, and I'll have old Curly bring it out for you, okay, bud? Congratulations.
Adam Mays retains the ball on the pitcher's mound for the Licking County Settlers here in the top of the 5th inning. Licking County putting up a 4 spot in the bottom half after conceding a 4 spot in the top half of the 4th. So it's a 10-9 ball game here, top 5 from Don Edwards Park. His first pitch swinging is leadoff hitter, and Cameron Murray lifts it to left field, and Dylan Ott will settle under it and retire Murray for the second time today. It'll be the number 2 hitter in Carter Boswell coming to the plate now. If you remember, Xenia batted around in the 4th inning. Cameron Murray led off that inning with a fly out to left, but then they were eventually able to score 4 runs as Boswell walked in his last at-bat. He is 0 for 2 today. Reached on the fielder's choice in the first and grounded out in the second. As he's first pitch swinging, he lifts into left field just a little bit deeper this time, going towards the wall. Ott back at the track, catches it right in front of the Ange's Pizza and Pub sign next to the 300 marker on that left field fence. So 2 pitches and 2 flyouts to Dylan Ott in left field. And very quickly, Adam Mays has 2 outs. Graham Welsh will dig in now. Welsh, he's 3 for 3 today. 2 singles, a double, 3 runs scored. As Mays tries to get him out for the first time. That pitch taken low for a ball. I would assume Welsh would be taking all the way, as the first 2 hitters were retired on 2 pitches. 1-0 from Mays. That pitch laced into right field. Sam Stewart right at him, though. So 4 pitches, and Adam Mays retires the side in order in the top of the 5th. Licking County coming to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They trail by 1.
New pitch on the mound for the Scouts, number 18, Ben Bills.
Xenia Scouts will make a call to the bullpen for the first time in game number 2. It will be the sophomore Ben Bills, the 6'1", 187-pound York, Pennsylvania native, goes to Nyack College. He will be in relief of Andrew Verbrugge. Verbrugge today went 4 innings, gave up 9 runs. Only 5 of those were earned. He gave up 8 hits, 4 strikeouts, no walks, as he still is in line for the win. Bills, however, will be making his 6th appearance. He's actually started 3 games, didn't get a start today. But 6th appearance, thrown 18 innings, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks, has an ERA of 12 and a record of 1-3. First pitch to Nathan Dill, taken low and outside for a ball. Dill today is 0 for 2. He grounded to the second baseman in the 2nd inning and flew out to right in the 3rd inning. 1-run ball game here in the bottom of the 5th inning in game number 2, as that pitch taken high for a ball. So Bills comes out of the pen and throws 2 straight balls to the right-handed hitter in Nathan Dill. Game number 1, 9-5 victory for the Licking County Settlers as Dill swings through that pitch. Has to catch himself as he falls into the opposite batter's box. Settlers picking up their 4th win of the season. They moved to 4-13. Xenia 7-10 entering this game. 2-1 from Bills. This one hit right back up the middle, falling quickly, but Welsh on the run makes the catch. A great catch by the center fielder in Welsh on that sinking line drive hit by Dill. A good piece by Dill, but just unlucky and unfortunate to where he hit it, as Chad Harper will be the Settler hitter now. Harper started that 4-run rally in the 4th inning. He reached on a single, 3-2 count. Thought he got hit by a pitch. He was called back and able to just kind of stick his bat out there and poke one through the left side. He's 1 for 2 today, cuts through that pitch for strike 1. Harper struck out looking in the 2nd inning, and then, as we said, singled last inning and scored the 1st run of that 4th inning. Top of the 5th was the 1st inning. The Xenia Scouts did not push a run across. Adam Mays getting a 1-2-3 inning on 4 pitches. As that pitch fouled straight back by Harper. Count goes no balls and 2 strikes. This could be a quick inning for both pitchers. As we saw Dill fly out on the 4th pitch, it's pitch number 7 coming up. 0-2 count on Harper with 1 out. Bills striking, and strike number 3 to the catcher in Chad Harper. That's his 2nd strikeout today, as that'll bring up the right fielder, Sam Stewart. Sam Stewart, only his 4th start in the batting order, and he has done nothing but hit the cover off the ball. Sam Stewart, 6-for-11 on the season. His first pitch from Bills, breaking ball, taken by Stewart for a strike. Stewart, we see him on the mound more often than we've seen him in the field, but we might be seeing something else as that pitch hit off the end, nubbed towards the second baseman and Bacon. Speed beating it out by Sam Stewart, as it's going to call for a hit, says our official stats person. And Stewart is aboard with back-to-back singles. As that pitch, he hit it right off the end. They might be checking the baseball. Looks like they're going to throw that one out. Stewart hit that one right off the end of the bat. Had some weird spin, got past the pitcher in Bills. It was going to be a tough play for Bacon, the second baseman. If Bills couldn't get that, you know, with Sam Stewart's speed, he's probably going to beat that one out. That'll bring the top of the order up to the plate now in Turner Hill, the center fielder, left-handed hitting center fielder. He's 0 for 3 today. He popped up to the third baseman in the 1st and has reached on 2 errors his last 2 at-bats as he lifts that one over the third base dugout for strike number 1. Had an error by the third baseman in Brown and an error by the second baseman in Bacon. Turner singled home a run in that 4th inning as well. That pitch in the dirt taken by Hill for a ball. Hill was 1 for 2 earlier today, so he's 1 for 5, but has reached base 4 times. So that'll help the on-base percentage in the grand scheme of things, as Stewart checked on over at first base. Stewart does not have a stolen base here today, but does have good speed. We've seen him motoring around the bases every time he gets on. It's a 1-1 into Turner Hill, taken low for a ball as the Settlers try to start a 2-out rally here and tie this game in the 5th inning. Only playing 7 innings today. It's a doubleheader, so it'll be 2 7-inning games. So the Settlers down to their last 7 outs. 2-1 pitch from Bills. In the dirt once again, good pick by the catcher in Felix King. And the count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. Hill does a great job at the top of the order, really working pitchers and seeing a lot of pitches. Now his second at bat only saw 1 pitch, but that was because he bunted it down the third base line trying to catch Brown. Stewart goes, and the throw taken for a strike as Stewart slides in safely with the stolen base. That'll be Stewart's first stolen base here today, and the count will go to 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hill. So if Hill can put one past the infield, Stewart with 2 outs and a 3-2 count, he would probably make it home. Turner Hill, 7 strikeouts, 9 walks on the year. At Malone College, only struck out once every 14 at-bats. He was a 2-time first-team All-Ohio in high school. Big at-bat right here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, tying run on second base in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bills gets his sign and comes set. The 3-2. High and taken for a ball as Turner Hill works the 2-out walk, and there are 2 men aboard for the left fielder in Dylan Ott. Ott has reached base twice today. You can see the sigh of relief on his face in that last at-bat when he had that 2 RBI single to left field. It's been a frustrating couple of weeks or so. After leading the league in batting average, he's really tapered off as he's only 4 for his last 22. But hopefully that 2 RBI single can start to turn the tide once again for the Wisconsin Oshkosh Titan as that pitch misses outside for a ball. Good eye by Ott on that breaking ball from Bills. Ott was 3rd in the New York Collegiate League last summer in hitting, and at 388 as he lifts that ball into left field. Murray gives chase. He's back at the track, at the wall, makes the catch right in front of the State Farm sign out in left field. Dylan Ott just missing that pitch as he lifted it into deep left field. No wind. There was some wind that might have been able to carry that one out of here, but nonetheless, the Scouts escape the bottom of the 5th inning, giving up no runs. We head to the 6th. Score remains 10-9.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like Julia. You have that 50-50 winner down there? Let's draw out 50-50 winner here.
All right, the winning number is 150866. 150866. Remember to keep a hold of those raffle tickets, and you can win some other prizes provided by the river.
Thanks, Julia.
It'll be Adam Mays once again for the Licking County Settlers on the bump here to face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters of the Xenia Scouts. 10-9 ball game, top of the 6th inning. Only playing 7 here, so both teams down to their last 2 at-bats, as Mays will get the designated hitter in Ryan Bertelsman. Bertelsman 2 for 2 today with 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and 2 walks. Might as well throw in 2 runs scored as well as the first pitch taken for a strike for the right-hander from Wittenberg University. Second pitch to Bertelsman outside for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bertelsman, native of Friendswood, Texas, Comes from a very athletic family as he shoots that ball down the right field line for strike number 2. His mother was actually a 2-time national champion in swimming at Texas. His brother, also a swimmer at SMU. He sees the 1-2 pitch from Mays, low and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Bertelsmann Benetoff out. He's got 3 hits on the day today. 2-2 pitch from Mays, taken high for a ball. Bertelsmann now works the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mays came in relief for Justin Folks, came in at a bases loaded 1-out jam. Gave up an RBI single, but able to strike out back-to-back hitters last inning. The first 1-2-3 inning we've seen in this game is Bertelsmann goes around swinging, make that 3 strikeouts on the day for Adam Mays, as he has been masterful in relief here. As a Caleb Eder will be the next hitter due up. Eder has no plate appearances. He's walked 3 times. Walked in the 1st, 3rd, and the 4th. He scored in both the 1st and the 4th inning. So he's still looking for his first hit in this game as he fouls that pitch straight back. Eder also had an RBI in that 4th inning. Both the innings he scored were part of those 4-run innings for the Xenia Scouts. Xenia 4 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th. Curveball misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Eder, a Marion, Indiana native, goes to Indiana Wesleyan University. Wildcats just won their first Crossroad League title since 1985. So he takes that pitch for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He started 56 games in the lineup, also pitched 9 games. He pitched game number 1 against the Suttlers about a week and a half ago down in Xenia. As May steps off and resets. Eder doing it both ways. You don't see too many guys in college going 2 ways. 1-2 fouled off and caught by the on-deck hitter in Truman Brown. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the 6th inning, 10-9 ball game here. Xenia with 5 errors today. It's that big number glaring up there, as that was part of that big 4-run 4th inning, and they had 2 that inning. As that pitch misses up and in for a ball, even the count at 2. There were 2 errors in that 4th inning. You had a couple in the 3rd as well. 2-2 pitch. That pitch fouled off. As Eder doing what he needs to do to stay alive here in this at-bat. I keep mentioning it, Zach Bacon had a great at-bat in the 1st inning, fouling off no less than 5 pitches, working a count full. A 2 RBI single. 2-2, just misses the outside. Mays wanted that one, but that count will go to full now. Mays has not walked anybody. He's only given up 1 hit in 1 2/3 innings of relief. 3 strikeouts. Could use a 4th right here. A 3-2. Popped up, but it's going to get out of play once again as Eder continues to stay alive in this at-bat. Licking County 0-2 on the season in 1-run ball games. Xenia has a habit of being in 1-run ball games. Their last 7 games, 7 of the last 8 have been 2 runs or less. That pitch curveball just misses as Mays wanted that one as well, as he stares down where that pitch misses. We're going to get a mound visit from head coach Michael Sandman after the 1-out walk given up by Mays. We've seen Sandman have a quick hook today, as soon as his pitchers start to get in trouble, he starts going to the pen. It does not look, I was going to say there wasn't anybody warming up that I could see, but looks like he's going to pull Mays as Mays yells a couple things into his glove as he heads back to the dugout. So we will get a pitching change here in the 6th inning as the crowd claps for the outing by Mays. We'll have that new pitcher for you when we come back. Scouts lead 10-9.
Pitching change for your County Settlers on the mound for 24. Gray Harmon.
Fifth pitcher of the day for the Licking County Settlers. It'll be the lefty Gray Harmon on the mound. The 6'2", 190-pound New Albany, Ohio native plays his collegiate ball at Xavier University and usually one of the first guys out of the pen in a close game for the Settlers. As he inherits a runner on first base, first pitch to Truman Brown, taken for a ball. Truman has one hit today. He's 1 for 3. A strikeout in the first, fielder's choice, and scored in the third, and an RBI single in the fourth. As there's one runner on first right now as he swings through that pitch, tried to check his swing, but went around. Gray's last appearance, he appeared in that 9-8 loss up in Grand Lake. He threw a third of an inning, was called on to get 2 outs. Gave up 4 runs, none of those being earned. There were 2 errors in that inning. Gave up 2 hits and a walk as well in the 8-run 9th inning as that pitch swung on and missed by Truman Brown. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We've referenced it plenty of times today, giving up 8 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to lose 9-8. Gray Harmon and Cannon Duke, 2 of the better relievers in that bullpen, couldn't get those final 2 outs. But Harmon back on the bump here 2 days later and trying to hold this game at a 1-run deficit for the Settlers. 1-2, runner starts and stops. Taken inside for a ball. Going to even the count at 2. Gray Harmon has made 6 appearances, 3.11 ERA. He is 1-0 in 8 2/3 innings of work, 11 strikeouts, 12 walks, and 6 hits. As he checks on the runner at first base, long pause, and delivers a 2-2, fouled back. Good job by Truman Brown. A lot of these hitters have done today for the Xenia Scouts. They've spoiled a lot of good pitches. They've stayed alive in at-bats. You can see why they have an on-base percentage up near 400. They all have good eyes up at the plate, able to battle in counts and make pitchers go longer and start coming to them. 2-2 once again. Popped up, but it will get out of play once again. Mays went 2 innings. Still has that runner over on first base. That would be Mays' run if it were to come around to score. Mays did give up another run, but it was not his. It was Justin Folks as he inherited the bases loaded and 1 out. Was able to get out, only giving up 1 run. Had 3 strikeouts, 2 innings of work. 2-2 from Harmon. High and outside, ball 3 as Harmon pounds his glove. Didn't like where that pitch ended up. Full count by Truman Brown now. 1-run ball game here in the top of the 6th inning. Xenia has 5 more outs to work with. Settlers have 6. Payoff pitch. Swing and miss for strike 3. Gray Harmon comes in and gets Truman Brown down on strikes for the 2nd out in this 6th inning. That's a big out from Harmon. The difference between 1st and 2nd and 1 out and runner at 1st with 2 outs is huge, especially in a 1-run ball game as Felix King makes his way to the batter's box. Now King 2 for 3 today, has 2 singles and 2 RBIs. Harmon working against the righty, misses high and outside for ball 1. King from Nampa, Idaho, 6'1", 210 pounds. As Harmon checks on the runner over at first base, and Eder brings back in safely. Harmon with a quick snap throw over to first. The lefty hopefully can shut down some of that running game. Xenia hasn't stolen as much in this game. Game number 1, they had 4 stolen bases. That pitch fouled off and going to even the count at 1. Wouldn't imagine they would try to steal second here with 2 away in the 6th inning in a 1-run ball game. You don't want to run any outs out of an inning. You want to let these guys hit. They've got 11 here in this game. 1-1, grounded to the second baseman, and Wilson fields it, takes the easy flip to Pena at second, and retires the side. So Harmon comes in and gets Brown to strike out, King to ground out on the fielder's choice, and sends his hitters back into the dugout. They still trail by 1. 10-9 game here, bottom 6 coming next.
Starting to set us off, number 20, Wilson.
Three, 4, 5 due up for the Licking County Settlers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Sam Wilson, Garrett Roberts, and Cale Baker to face the right-handed hurler in Ben Bills. First pitch from Bills to Wilson. Taken right down the middle for strike 1. Wilson 1 for 3 today in this game. Hit an RBI double in the 1st inning, reached on an error in the 3rd, and flew out to center in the 4th. He also has scored twice today as curveball misses high, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Wilson, Roberts, and Baker each have 1 hit today. All of those hits doubles. They've shown good power as the middle of the order. As that pitch popped up in on the infield, first baseman Eder going to come on and make the catch. So with 3 pitches and 1 out on the pop-up to Eder at first base, and Wilson has been retired as Garrett Roberts will head to the dish now. Roberts, as we said, has an RBI double today. He also scored. That was in the 3rd inning. the other two at-bats in the first and the fourth. He flew out to center and grounded out to third. So Roberts looking for his second hit. Today had no hits in game number 1, so that double, the only hit that he had, as he takes a big hack through that off-speed pitch. Settlers down to their final 5 outs here. They trailed 10-5 at one point. So that pitch fouled off. Garrett very quickly down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. The 6-5 ball game heading into the 4th inning. And the Scouts put up a 4 spot. So it was 10-5, and then the Settlers put up a 4 spot of their own. It was 10-9, and that's where we've been ever since, as Roberts goes down on 3 pitches for the strikeout swinging. 6 pitches by Bills, 2 outs, as Cale Baker will step up to the plate now. Baker 1 for 3 today, has 2 strikeouts and an RBI double. And that double into that right center gap went all the way to the wall. Baker known for his power here on Licking County. He has 10 hits on the season, 7 of those going for extra bases. That pitch taken low for a ball. Out of those 7 extra base hits, 4 have left the park. That pitch fisted right back to the pitcher. Bills falling over and flipping to first base, so a quick 6th inning here, as he retires the side on 8 pitches after the 1-3 ground out of Baker. And the score will remain 10-9. Settlers need to throw up a 0 before they come up for their last at-bat as we head to the 7th. Scouts 10, Settlers 9.
The Licking County Settlers at 89.3 The River, and thanks for hanging out so far today, folks, for this game 2 of the doubleheader. Just to recap, the Settlers did win the first game. We have another great game here as we go into the top of the 7th. That's not all. Immediately following the game, we'll have some raffles, so hopefully you got those red 50-50 tickets. We have plenty of things to raffle off here. We also have 2 great bands coming out here for you after they all get set up. We'll start off with Safety Tech here from Columbus, Ohio, and we'll have the Wilderness Project from Central Ohio. 89.3 The River, Faith and Family Night. The River would like to thank some special sponsors here this evening. We have Central Ohio Fellowship of Christian Athletes, the Licking Memorial Health Systems, Equity Resource Inc. and Portland, our Jesse Law Office, Houston Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Console. I cannot talk today, folks. I've been here since 9:30 this morning. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. Lincoln Console at American Ear and Mount Perry Propane. That's 89.3 The River, Faith and Family Night sponsored.
Gray Harmon back on the mound to try to hold this at a 1-run ball game here in the top of the 7th inning. He'll have the 8 and 9 one-hitters in Bacon, Tuttle, and Murray. Bacon, the right-handed, hitting second baseman. First pitch fouled off to the right side and out of play. Bacon today 1 for 2. He had a 2 RBI single in the first inning, walked in the 3rd, and struck out looking in the 4th. Struck out looking with the bases loaded and 1 out. Big pitch by Adam Mays. That pitch shot down the right field line, but foul once again. So no balls and 2 strikes. It's the second baseman from Glenville State College. Bacon threw 2 pretty good innings in game number 1. Had to come in relief for the first time this season and only let up 1 run. As the 0-2 misses. Now moves the count to 1-2. That pitch misses outside for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We've seen Bacon battle in and at bat in the first inning. Trying to do it again here and start this 7th inning off as that pitch lifted into center field Turner Hill going over his left shoulder, giving chase and catching it in the right center gap. So one away here in the top of the 7th inning as Nicholas Tuttle will come to the plate now. Tuttle 1 for 3 today. Had an RBI single in the 3rd and a pair of strikeouts in the 1st and the 4th. Tuttle was 2 for 4 in game number 1, a hit right here. Would have him go 4 for 8 on the day. Not too shabby for the shortstop, Caldwell, Ohio. First pitch he's going to see from Gray Harmon. Taken high as Harmon looked like didn't come down at a good spot on that mound, kicking some dirt after letting go of that first pitch to Tuttle. Tuttle 8 for his last 18. Just under 500 as he sees that pitch for a strike. Evens a count at 1. One. That pitch misses outside. Harmon missing 2 pitches. Both 2 of the balls to Tuttle here have been way outside. Settlers took game 1 earlier today, 9-5. Scouts lead this one 10-9. These 2 teams will face off tomorrow as Harmon misses up and out again. 3 balls and 1 strike. These 2 teams will face off again tomorrow afternoon. Part of this 3-game series as Harmon takes a second to catch his breath. Hot and humid day out here in Newark, Ohio. Non-existent wind. It's been off and on. Right now it is off as the flags are at a standstill out in center field. 3-1 from Harmon. Catches the outside corner for a strike. Harmon taking that deep breath and able to bounce back. Now has a 3-2 count to the shortstop in Tuttle. Harmon trying to hold this ball game right where it is at. 3-2, low in the dirt, picked out by Harper, and the 1-out walk given up by Harmon will put Tuttle aboard for the 2nd time today, and that'll bring up the top of the order in the left fielder in Cameron Murray. Murray today is 1 for 4. Had a single in the 1st inning, flown out to Dylan Ott in left twice, and a fly out to Sam Stewart in right. Stewart made a spectacular sliding catch on the sinking line drive as Murray looks for his 2nd hit today. Runner on first in Tuttle. As he squares the bunt, taken for a strike. As he talks to the home plate umpire and Jimmy Craig. Murray squared the bunt. Roberts came charging in. We'll see what he does. This one, Harmon checks on the runner over at first, seeing if he's going to try to get a head start, maybe steal a bag. We've only seen him steal 1 base in this game. They stole 4 in game number 1 today. Team that's never afraid to start pushing the issue as Harper calls time to go talk to Gray Harmon out on the mound right now. Xenia with 10 runs on 11 hits. They have committed 5 errors. Settlers with 9 runs on 8 hits. They also have an error. That is where we stand here, top of the 7th inning. Last bats for both teams, unless the score, of course, is tied at the completion of the 7th. Harmon gets his sign and comes set. The 0-1, square to bunt once again, bounces it right back to Harmon on the pitcher's mound, fields it and fires to first for out number 2. So Murray does a job on the sacrifice bunt, moves his runner into scoring position, but there are 2 away here as Carter Boswell will be the next hitter. Boswell 0 for 3 today. He reached on the fielder's choice in the 1st, came around to score, grounded out in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, and later scored and flew out to Dylan Ott in deep left field. Ott caught that right in front of the Ange's Pizza and Pub sign in that left field corner. So Boswell, big spot, insurance run on 2nd, 2 outs. Gray Harmon on the mound, first pitch taken for a strike as Harmon jumps ahead of Carter Boswell for strike number 1. Harmon, one of the better relievers out of this Licking County bullpen. He's been asked to come on in plenty of situations, either keep this game right where it's at or close it out. 0-1 fouled right back, and very quickly Harmon gets ahead of Boswell. No balls and 2 strikes. Boswell 2 for his last 18. 7 strikeouts in that time span. Harmon up 0-2 on him with 2 outs. Trying to get his guys back in the dugout and get them one last chance at this Xenia pitching staff. 1-run deficit for the Settlers. 10-9 ball game. The 0-2 curveball taken just misses as Harmon gives a little wiggle on the mound there. It looked like it just missed that outside corner. He came in with the curveball and trying to break it back over the outside part of the plate, and those lefty Harmon. So Boswell stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second. It's Tuttle. 1-run ball game, top 7. This is the last inning. The delivery. Swung on and missed. Strike 3 as Harmon gets his 2nd strikeout of the game and holds that score right where it is at. Settlers, last at bat coming up. They trail by 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to announce earlier, can you get a round of applause for our new first base coach, the 39, TJ Lyons.
Last chance for the Settlers here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Eddie Pena, Nathan Dill, and Chad Harper. If any of them get on, it'll be Sam Stewart. 1-run deficit for the Settlers. Ben Bills stays on the mound at his first pitch to Eddie Pena, taken outside for a ball. Eddie is 1 for 3 today. He reached on an error in the 2nd, 2 RBI single in the 3rd, and lined out to the first baseman. He's hit the ball hard twice today. He fouls that pitch back. Between Pena, Dill, and Harper, only 2 hits between the 3 of them. Only 3 times have they gotten on base. 2 of those were by Pena. Stewart, definitely a guy you want to get up in this situation as time is called by the catcher, and King going to talk to his pitcher and Bills about the 1-1 count they have to Pena. Stewart has 2 singles today. He's 2 for 3. On the day, he's 4 for 5. So Licking County definitely wants to get at least one of those guys on base and give Sam Stewart a chance to knock in the tying run, if not the winning run. More than one of them can get on base. As the 1-1 comes in from Bills, this one popped up to the right side and it'll get out of play. So 2 straight strikes from the right-hander in Bills, and he's ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Delivery from Bills. That pitch grounded to the left side. Going to be a tough play for Tuttle, and he boots it. And Pena will get on first base. The 6th error today by the Xenia Scouts. Under his glove and boots it was a shortstop in Tuttle. It was going to be a tough play regardless because of the speed from Pena, but doesn't help himself out or his pitcher out, as Pena will be on first base, nobody out in a 1-run ball game. Nathan Dill, the batter now. He squares the bunt and fouls it right back. Not a good attempt by the right-handed hitter from Butler as he poked that one out. Being asked, obviously, to sacrifice. Here's the third baseman, Brown, plays in. Just want to get that bat head out in front of the plate, catch that ball right in the barrel, and put it down as he tries to bunt once again. Fouled straight back. So 2 bunt attempts by Nathan Dill and 2 foul balls. He's down on the count. No balls and 2 strikes. We'll see if they ask him to try to bunt one more time. Dill is 0 for 3 today, has 2 flyouts and a ground out. Was 0 for 3 in the game earlier today. Third baseman in Brown stays in. We'll see if Dill tries to bunt once again, if he can get a hot shot down that third base line. As he swings and misses. 3 straight pitches. And Dill goes down swinging. As that'll bring up Chad Harper to the plate. Harper 1 for 3 today, has 2 strikeouts, 1 looking and 1 swinging, but had a single in the 4th inning, and later it came around to score. It actually looks like we're going to get a substitution here. Miguel Pimentel is swinging a bat right now, so Harper will come out. And Pimentel will replace him here in the 7th inning. You remember, Cal Baker is in the game right now at the designated hitter, so you have to imagine that Baker would go behind the plate if this were to go extras, and Pimentel would be the designated hitter following that. So Pimentel did not play in game number 1 either. His first at-bat today as a whole is the first pitch swinging and fouled straight back. Pimentel, 6'1", 185 from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, goes to Lee University. 354 batting average, 440 on base percentage, has 17 hits, 6 of those extra bases, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, 11 strikeouts, and 5 walks. As his second pitch swinging misses, a big hack from Pimentel, and he goes down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Ben Bills throwing strikes here in this 7th inning. Pimentel, 0-2, 1 out, tying run on first. Bill steps off, catches his breath, and steps back on for the 0-2. Sam Stewart on deck. He's 2 for 3. That pitch popped up and fouled out of play as Pimentel will stay down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Pimentel, one of the better hitters on this Licking County roster. Didn't play in game number 1. Did not start in game number 2 either. The 0-2, Pena goes, fouled back. Once again, not a good jump by Pena. So probably a good that Pimentel was able to get a piece of it and foul a second consecutive pitch back. Pimentel last 2 fouled him straight back, so he's got that fastball timed up pretty well. We'll see if he can do anything with it or if Bill starts going to the off speed. 0-2. That pitch hit right at the shortstop. Pena getting back to first base as that ball gets away, as Pena will go to second base, and he's in scoring position off the error by the shortstop, Tuttle. He fielded the line drive by Pimentel, but then threw the ball to first base. Pena was going to make it regardless as he got a good read on that and threw it away. So Pena at second base now for Sam Stewart. Stewart, 2 for 3. 2 singles today, a strikeout looking. Stewart 7 for 12 on the year. Settlers might have found themselves a hidden gem in that pitching staff in the batting order. 7 for 12, biggest spot that he's been in so far as that pitch curveball outside misses for a ball. Tying run on second base for the Settlers. If Stewart's able to get aboard, it'll be Turner Hill. The 1-0 from Bills. That pitch hit hard into center field. Center fielder Welsh going back, but it's going to die in center field, and he will make the play as Sam Stewart, with about a 370-foot out to straight away center. And the Xenia Scouts are able to escape here in game number 2 against the Licking County Settlers. Final score 10-9 as Ben Bills throws the last 3 innings and only gives up 1 run in those 3 innings. An outstanding effort by Ben Bills. Excuse me, no runs in the last 3 innings from Ben Bills as he shuts the door on the Licking County Settlers. They go scoreless in the final 3 innings and drop game number 2. Licking County will drop to 4-14 on the season. Xenia with the win will move to 8-10 on the season. Licking County will be back in action tomorrow against the Xenia Scout team. They'll hit the road and travel down there to face off against the Scouts. We'll have that broadcast for you on YouTube once again, so make sure you check our YouTube broadcast and tune in tomorrow. Once again, Licking County drops game number 2. Settlers 9 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. Xenia Scouts 10 runs, 11 hits on 7 errors. Thank you for listening, and we'll listen to us tomorrow as game number 3 between these two teams happening at 3:05.